to go ahead. Yeah, thank you. All right. So good day, everyone. How you doing? I just want to ask if anybody have like any question or need clarification before we kickstart with this class. So I know that we've covered quite a lot of things. I'm just going to give a brief recap before we start today's class. Today's class is all about building our projects. So when I mean building our projects, I mean building out our to-do application. So we've been learning what React is. We've been learning about React basis. In fact, we started off with what exactly React is, why use React. We also did basic setup where we talked about things like create React app, how previously when you want to use a React app, you have to do like the whole setup. When we create React app, you have everything well set up for you. We also took the extra step to go through all the React folders, talking about the node modules, the public folder that contains the index of HTML, the source folder. We also talked about the app.js and the index.js, which is sort of like is the root of everything. So we had like a pretty good section that day. We also talked about components, right? You root your components, your first component in this class. And we also talked about understanding JSX. The full meaning of JSX is JavaScript XML. So we talked about how it allows us to write HTML-like code in JavaScript. We also talked about states and props. We made mention that states is sort of like a place where we store data for a particular component. We also talked about props. The full meaning of props is properties, right? That helps us to pass data from one component to another. So we explored these two things, and with states, we talked about use states, which is a React hook. So we also covered things like the component's life cycle, the initialization, the mounting, the updating, and the unmounting, which led us to use effects. And we, sort of like explored examples on how to use effects. So I'm just, giving like a run through of everything that we've covered in this class, because today we have hands-on coding, and it's going to be like everybody. And I'm super excited because we're going to be applying the knowledge and the skills that we've built the past days into this class, and we're going to start building things. We're going to be building a to-do application. And I know that we all have access to the Figma file. If you do not have access to the Figma file, do let me know. But before we start with our development, like with building the to-do application, do you have any questions from the past? Do you have something that maybe you're still trying to understand, or do you need clarification anyway? Please let me know before we get started with this class. All right, so I can see hands up. Yes, go on, Gloria.
Yeah, I was trying. Okay, so I feel like I understand use state pretty well. But the use effect, what do you use it for? I'm not sure if I'm understanding the use effect, or if I'm confusing it with like the mounting and unmounting. Is the use effect tied to that, or I guess I don't have a good way of describing use effect. Maybe you can just kind of review like what is use effect.
Okay, all right. So the use effect is a React hook that allows us to keep track of the component's life cycle. Now, like I explained, right, every component have its life cycle. So we have the initialization phase, we have the mounting phase, we have the updating phase, and we also have the unmounting phase. So these phases, they are the component's life cycle. And in order for us to like keep track of each circle that the component is in, we can use the use effect. So that's basically what the use effect is. It's sort of like a hook, right? It's a React hook. So it's sort of like a function, right, that allows us to perform certain things when our component is in different life cycles. So for example, we can say, oh, when the component is mounting, do this. Show the user this particular thing. We can say whenever the component updates, do this thing. So we can use the use effects hook to perform those side effects, those effects that you want to happen behind the scene that occurs during the life cycle. It could be when the component is on mounting, you want this particular thing to happen. When the component is mounting, you want this to happen. When the component is updating, you want a specific thing to happen. So that's basically what side effect is.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I had a disconnect between what use effect was and the life cycle. So now I know that that's why you kind of put it together, because use effect affects, you use effect during those different cycles to do things. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, beautiful. Any other person? Or we should proceed. So please give me a thumb if you think we should proceed, and we are going to go ahead to talk about something called the file structure. So yeah, okay, I can see 2 thumbs. So I'm just gonna proceed. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let me know if you don't have access to the Figma. If you do have access to the Figma, please jump on the Figma right now, because we are all going to be developing together. I'm just going to take the extra step to paste the Figma link in this chat. And yeah, so this is a to-do application. And when I say Figma, right? Figma is a platform that allows UI UX developers to create designs that pertain to maybe mobile or web development. So it depends on what exactly they are building. So as a UI UX designer, a client or a company can say, oh yeah, I want to build this particular thing. I want to build a to-do application. Give me a design that my customers can relate to. It could be an e-commerce site. It could be anything. As long as the company, right, has an idea and wants to build something, they first talk to like the UI UX person. So the UI is called, the full meaning of UI is user interface. UX is user experience. So they are developers that handle that area. So now these developers use tools like Figma, Adobe XD. But for today, we're running this design from a Figma file. So it is their work to create this design. Now, where do we come in as developers, especially web developers? For design that like web design, if you notice, this is like a desktop, right? And when you're building, you build from your desktop. So we also have most websites that are also mobile responsive. So most times when you go to a website, you can still do everything you want to do on that website. You can view the website because it is mobile responsive. So most times when they create designs, they also create the mobile version so that you can see this is how it's supposed to look on mobile, and this is how it's supposed to look on desktop. So of course, right, as front-end developers, we're going to be working with things like Figma. We're also going to be working with things like Adobe. It depends on the tool that the UI UX developer used to build the product. For this particular product, the to-do application, it was built with a Figma file, and that was why I had to share it with you so that you can have access to it on your end. You can open it up and see how it looks. So the Figma file basically gives not just you as a developer, but the product owner. So say I have an idea. I want to build a to-do application. I call a UI UX developer. The UI UX developer gives me an interface like this. So this basically gives me like a physical structure of how I want the design to look. So this is how I want, when people go to my desktop, when they go to www.todoapp.com, they should see the website showing like this. When they go to the website with their mobile phone, they should see it like this. So it just gives you that insight. And then as a developer, it lets you know what the client wants, what the company is looking for. This is how they want their product to come out. So we use this same design that have been given to us, we replicate it, that's what it's called. We mimic the design. So we do exactly what they have given to us, and we do it on our end to look like this. So by the time we deploy the website and we share the link with the client or the company, right, they will see that, oh yeah, this is what they asked us to build. So Figma designs, you're going to be working with Figma files. You're also going to be working with Adobe XD. There are also other design tools that these UI UX developers use to build. But at the end of the day, you don't have to know everything about the tool. You just have to know how to get the things that you need to get. And I'm going to be taking you through that process too in this class. Trust me, it is not complex. It's just like clicking the link, open it up on your browser, just like you've done on your end. And I'm just going to show you how to collect assets, things like this plus button. How do you have access to this plus button? Because you don't have to create everything. You can just quickly get it from the design. So, but first things first, I'm just going to give you a breakdown approach to starting up with projects. And this is the approach that I always take. First things first, you look at the design and you look at things that are reusable. Remember, the core of React is components. And components, what are components? Components allows us to create a piece of UI that we can use anytime we want to use. So this is a small project, right? But for a big project, you may have over 10 components, right, in the design. So just by looking at the design, you see things that repeated itself. For example, we have this particular blue background, this block that holds the to-do. You can notice that anytime that the user wants to view whatever they have worked on, right, whatever they want to add, it comes in this block. So say they added read, so read a book, so read a book will be here. So let's say they added this to their to-do, this will be here. Let's say they want to add something else. Just a minute, I'm not so good with Figma, but say they want to add something else, right? It's going to come in the next line. So so you don't have to know how to do all these things. You don't have to know how to create all these things on Figma. Your work is basically to grab it and implement. So for me, I'm not a UI UX person, so I don't really know how to use Figma, but I know how to get the things I want to get, pick the colors that I want to pick and all. So first things first, all you need to do is to know the things that are components in this page. What are the things that you can make a component? I think you can make this header a component. So we can have a header component here. We can have an input component. So this is like an input where you type what you want to do, right? Then this input has this button. So we can have a button here as a component. We can also have this div. So this div that contains what the user is about to do, right? We can have it as a component. Now, because this is, sort of like a little project, you may not have so many components, but at least I picked out 3 things that we can have as a component. And then, of course, we can have this general div. So we can have a component that holds all the information before passing it in our app.js. So the first thing is to map out the things that you can create as components, because components is just a piece of UI. It could be anything, it could be a button, it could be a text. In our case, we have this header text that will be a component. We have our inputs, and then we also have this container text for the individual to-dos. So we can go ahead. Now, we also need a file structure. When I talk about the file structure, it's basically how things will be arranged in our projects. Now, remember we have the source, we have the public folder. So first things first, we'd like to go to the public index.html. Now we'll have to change the title to do on your end. We may have to also change the description. Instead of this is a React intro, we can say, oh, this is a to-do application. Then we can change the 5 icon. So let's say you have the icon, like the logo, right? So say you have the logo to the project. So most times you may not see the logo in the Figma file. All you need to do is to ask the client, do you have a logo? Do you want do you have a logo, or do you have a designer that can provide the logo? And if they do, they're going to give you the logo file. The file can come in different formats. It can come in PNG or JPEG or this ICO format. So once they give you the logo, all you need to do is to replace it here and then call the file paths here. So it's just going to show here. So say you have the logo. For now, we're still going to stick to React logo because that's what we have. And then we have our source folder. Now, the source folder is, like I said, your go-to folder. You're most likely doing everything in the source folder. You're going to have, firstly, of course, create a folder called components. Now, this folder is where all your components will be. So whatever components you're going to be creating for this file is going to be in the components folder. So like I said, we'll most likely need 3 components. The header components, the input components, and the to-do card or to-do list. You can call it the list. So the to-do list component. So I can go ahead to create those 3 components because we'll be needing them. So firstly, we have the header.js. The next thing we're going to have is the we can call this input add to do, the add to do components, because this input is just going to enable us to add to do, right? So we can call it the add to do components. So we can say add to do.js. I think, and then the last component we're going to be creating is the to-do list. So this component will allow us like display the individual to-dos. So we can say to-do list.js. Okay, so now we have 3 components. Now you can go ahead to, break your UI into smaller piece, right? You can go ahead to even say, okay, this button, I want this button to be a component of its own. Perfect, beautiful. So you can go ahead to say, oh, I want the button to be separate. So I want a button component. So you just do this, button.js. So you can have as many components as you want to have, right? It's totally fine. And it's really, really good. As long as you have your structure, and as long as you put all your components inside the components folder, it makes your work really neat. After the component folder, another folder that I always advise that developers have in their source folder is now we're doing the folder structure. If you can hear me clearly, we're doing the folder structure, and once as I'm structuring the folder, you can also structure your own folder at your end.
So we'll do along with you?
Yes, you can do along with me and while you listen as I talk.
But we can do a new to-do app, right? With the init
Yes.
to-do. So we'll start with that.
Okay, yeah. So you can choose to create a new Create React app. So it's brand new, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. All right. So any other question?
Shalom.
Yeah.
I have a question just about the components. So do you want our components to match your components then?
Yeah, so I would like that. I mean,
Okay.
right now, I picked if you can see my Visual Studio Code, right? In my components folder, I have 4 components. I have the add to do component, which represents this input that allows us to add to-dos. I also have the button, which would represent this button. I also have the header.js, which would represent this header. So then I also have the to-do list, which will represent this this list down here that has to do with the individual to-dos. That's this list. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So right before my internet went off, I also added a folder called assets, and I'm just going to re-explain what the assets folder is and why we need the assets folder. The assets folder usually have two folders in it. It has the fonts folder and the icons folder. So most times there are websites that include images, you know, some type of fonts and on, but this particular website, this particular project that we're working on does not include so many images. We only have icons. So we have things like this plus icon, we have this checkbox icon, you know, this could be like an icon or a checkbox. So we have this, and so we're going to like grab these icons and we're going to store them in our icons folder. For the fonts, we are not really using like a specific font, but say you're working on a big project, right? This particular setup is good. Like the asset setup usually have fonts and icons. If you have fonts, put your fonts here. If you have icons, put your icons here. If you have images, you can go ahead to create another folder inside here and you can name it images. So I'm just basically, you know, showing you like the general code structure just to prepare you, because I mean, you're going to be working with developers, you're going to be working with tech companies that already have their products. So most times by the time they ask you, oh, clone my repository, right? They invite you to their company repository and you clone it, you're going to see the structure. So you should be able to, like, you know, be flexible enough to know where things are, know what's are kept in the assets, know what are kept in the components for that too. Another folder that is usually used by companies is called the utils folder. Now, just like you have utilities in your house, right? You have things that help you sort of like enjoy living in your house. So that's basically the idea of the utils folder in React. So we just add that folder. They're basically like helper functions. Maybe you have a particular function that is doing something, a particular function that holds data. Or let's say you have a particular like data, you just store it in your utils. So we can just create that folder, yeah, right in your source. We have the utils folder. Yeah. So in our case, we're going to use the utils folder to store like dummy data first. I mean, dummy to-do data, so that we can work with sort of like a real data when we're working on our interface. And you're going to see how all that, you know, works. Another folder that we'll most likely need is page folder, a page folder. Now, I'm just taking, like I said, I'm taking you through like, you know, the basic structure of everything. So we have the pages folder. Now, these our projects only have one page. So in normal websites, you would see the about page, the home page, the contact us page. You know, say we go to www.gdi.com. So let's say we go to www.girldevelopit. Okay, so say we go to our website, right? It's loading up. You're going to see that this website has different pages, right? You can go to the about page, we have the leadership page, we have the blog page, you know, we have different pages, right? So it depends on what you're currently building. So most websites that have pages like this, you most likely want to store like these different pages inside the page folder. So let's say we have an about us page, you're going to have inside your page folder, you're going to have a file called about us. So you have about us.js, you go on and on to create those different pages. We have blog, so you most likely have blog.js, you know, things like that. So that's basically how you structure pages in React. So you just put them inside the folder, right? Page folder. So at the end of the day, every single thing, all the folder, your assets, your components, your pages, your utils, everything is going to work together to, you know, make your React project a beautiful and sleek web interface. So this is like the basic structure. Apart from these basic folders, right? If you see any other folder, it's probably just custom created, right? I mean, maybe the company needs a folder for their database or a folder for APIs and all. You can have, folders. I think we can also add the styles folder. So we're going to be doing some styles, right? We're going to use CSS. So you can have a folder called styles, and then all your CSS styles would be in that folder. So we can have a folder called styles, and all our CSS styles will be inside that folder. So as we build our to-do app, I'm just, trying to like general setup. So as we build our to-do app, we're going to be using all these folders. I'm going to try, I think we'll most likely have one page. I'm just going to call this the to-do page, because we don't have about, so I'm just going to rename it to to-do page. So we have one page, we have 4 components, we have 0 assets for now. So as we build, I'm going to add assets into the asset folder. For styles, I'm just going to add one. I'm just going to add the to-do.css. So I'm just going to add this. So we have, and then for utils, I'm just going to add a to-do data. So I'm just going to call it to-do data.
Shalom, this is Valerie. I guess I'm a little slow because I'm not keeping up here. I got my list of components.
Okay.
That's about, and then I made a couple of folders, but I didn't see what you put in the folders.
Okay, so for our assets folder, right now we have 3 folders inside our assets folder. So we have fonts, we have icons, and we have images. And right now, all those folders are empty. So I think we can take it step by step. Everyone, do you have the assets folder? Do you have these 3 folders inside the assets folder? If no, you can go ahead to create that. So I'm just going to keep the assets folder open. The next folder after the assets, because Visual Studio Code sort of like arrange it alphabetically. So we have the components folder. In my component folder, I have 4 files, 4 components. I have the add to to-do.js. I have button.js. I have header.js, and I have to-do list.js. So yeah, that makes up my components folder. Then I have the page folder. I named it pages. I think page on our end because we just have one page. But say you have many pages, then of course, then you can add the S. So right now, because we have just one page, I just named that to-do.js because this represents the to-do page. So yeah, to-do, the word to-do is fine. Another thing you need to learn is when creating your components names, your file names, sort of like try as much as possible to be similar to what you're doing. For example, let's say you're creating a button component. The name of the file, button.js, seems really good because it's about what you're creating. You're creating a button. So say you call it button.js, it's similar. So if someone opened this code base and then they go to components and they see button.js, they will know that this component is for a button because it's similar to what it's doing. So things like header, it's sort of like similar to what it's doing. So try as much as possible that your naming is similar to what the particular page or the particular file is going to be holding or housing. I don't know if that's sort of like clear enough. So just to recap from the pages folder, I only added one file, which is to-do.js. And then I go ahead to create another folder in our source called styles. And this basically is going to house all our styles. So for now, like I said, it's a one-page website, a to-do application, quite minimal. So we only have one style, to-do.js, and that is what I added here. The last folder that we created was the utils. Now, like I explained, just like you own an apartment, right? And then you have utilities, like you have things like lights, you have data, you have water, those things sort of like help you help make the house more comfortable for you to live in, right? So the things that you put in your utils is sort of like the same thing. It helps your platform better. It helps the application you're building better. It could be a logic, a particular function. You can just put it in your utils. Most people also name this utils folder helper. So they call it the helper folder. So it's sort of like still the same thing, the utils, helper. You can name it something else, but just try as much as possible to name it something similar so that, like I said, when someone else is reading your code, they don't get confused. They understand, how to quickly jump on your projects. So say you're you're working on a big project and you need help. So if you invite another developer, will the developer, be confused, or will the developer easily understand where things are in your project? So you need to ensure that anything you're doing, you're making your project structured, you're using the right names so that, when someone is reading your files, when they are going through your project, they know where to look for things. So you don't want them to always bug you like, oh, where is this? Oh, where's this component? Where can I find this? Everything's arranged. So if they know that if they're looking for components, they go to the components folder. If they're looking for pages, they go to the pages folder. If they're looking for CSS styles, they go to styles. And if they're looking for like helper functions, utils, they go to the utils folder. And if they're looking for images or any type of assets, they go to the assets folder. So this is the basic breakdown. Let me know if you have any questions.
Shalom, I was curious about the pages. I don't understand the difference between like the components and the pages.
All right, beautiful. Now, the components is a piece of UI. Now, I'm going to use the GDI website as an example. Now, a piece could be, the logo. So let's say you want to create a particular component to store the logo in it. So this is like a piece. The piece is the logo. You could say, another thing you could say, if you look at this header, it's the same thing. The only difference is the text. We have upcoming events. We have welcome to Girls Develop It. The only thing difference between this and this is the text. So this can be a component. It could be a header component that, have different data being passed to it. So this particular thing can be a component of its own. Now, what's different between components and the page? The components are piece of UI that make up the page. So the page is the home screen, right? You have the home page and you have different components inside the home page. So the components make up the entire home page. So we can have, let's say we have schedule page, right? Or the events page, as you may call it. This event page have different components in it that make up the events page, right? You have this particular card. If you look at these two cards, they're sort of similar. The only difference is the image. For example, this is round image. There is the same round sort of like image look. The only difference is the contents. We have this part, we have this part, we have this header, we have this header. They literally look exactly the same. This button look exactly the same. The only difference is maybe like the contents are different, the image is different. It is a component. So you can say, okay, I want to build out this particular component that can be used as many times as possible. So the components make up the page. I don't know if that's sort of like clear.
Oh yeah, that helps. And so instead of putting it just in the source, we're going to put like the about and all of that in the pages.
Exactly. Just
okay.
to have everything structured and well arranged. Say you have a bookshelf, right? Let's say you have a bookshelf, you would have to arrange your books, the books that has to do with romance, the books that has to do with different genres. You're going to arrange it very well, right? So that's sort of like what we're doing with our page structure. You sort of like arrange all pages, go to pages folder, all components go to components folder, all assets go to assets folder, all styles go to styles folder. You're sort of like, making that arrangement so that your code base is neat. Because your code base can be very big. Can you imagine Facebook code base? Do you know how many screens Facebook have? In fact, even our GDI website is big because it has so many pages. You can count the about, the leadership, the blog, the impact. We have programs. Inside programs, we have a breakdown of instructors, communities, scholarship, hackathon. We have so many pages. So this is like a big project, and trust me, you do not need your code base to be messy for a big project. It's going to be confusing and all over the place. So everything has to be arranged. All right, so let me know if you have any question. Yeah, I can see Madison, your hand is up. Go ahead.
So just what that would look like as far as like on for the pages .js, you would just be like rendering components in some type of order.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's going to be, rendering.
And then like passing whatever props those components need that are specific to that page.
Beautiful. Exactly. Because, the page is going to be sort of like the parent to all the components inside it. So yes, that page folder, that page file is going to be able to pass, data. It's going to have its own states, and then it's going to pass data to all the components inside it. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Beautiful. Any other question? I think, do we have our setup ready? Do you have issues creating a new React app for your to-do application? Let me know. And once you're ready for us to start, just give me a time. And then we're going to start. Okay, so I'm just going to give you time. Meet myself here. All right, so I can get. All right, so I have 2 terms. Okay. So just in case you're just going to like be watching and you may not really like follow up now, but you follow up later, that's totally fine. Yeah, so I get 3 terms. Gloria, are you still sort of like doing your setup?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, all right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. All right, another time. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So remember, our app.js is always our roots. So because we have one page, we're going to import that page into the app.js and just render that page here. So first things first, let's go ahead to import. So we're going to import our page, the only page that we have actually. So we're going to import, so right now this page is to-do.js, right? So we're going to do import to-do from /pages/to-do. And we're also going to go ahead to create the file, the to-do.js. So right now it's empty. So let's create something. Let's create this. So we have const. So to-do equal to this arrow function. And then we're also going to export, because remember, anytime you want to import, because we did this import here, we have to export it so that React does not throw errors. So export defaults to do. And so basically right now, in our to-do application, let me see, did I save? So right now, if I save, so if I render to-do here, and I save it, you see that it's empty because our to-do file is not returning anything. So let's just go and return a H1 saying to-do page. So once I save this and I come back here, yes, we have our to-do page ready for us. Okay, so I'm just gonna format this. So now, next thing I'd like us to do, we have set up our to-do page showing on our browser. Yes, please.
Is it too fast for you guys, or I don't know if it's easier?
Yeah, it's too fast for me too. I'm kind of.
Yeah, just give us a second to
Yeah.
catch up there.
All right, all right. So firstly, go to your app.js imports your pages. Now, why are we importing our pages? Remember, right? We have a page. We only have one page called to do. Now, we're importing it into the app.js because forever, the app.js is going to be our entry point. So anything we want to display on the browser, we have to, do that in the app.js. So we have to import it. After you import it, you have to use it here so that it will display on the browser. So remember when we did this setup previously, we only added the file. So right now we had to add contents to the file so that it can display something. So that was basically what I did. So let me know if you have any questions in this app.js, or if you want me to move to the todo.js when you're done.
I think it's just that you type, I'm sorry, it's such you type so quick and jump, that's all.
Oh, okay. I've been coding for a long time, so I type really fast. Yeah, I get. All right, so I'm going to try to move at a slow pace and type slowly. Yes.
So
Shalom?
once this is done,
Yeah.
what output we are seeing
So once
in
this
the browser?
Yeah, so once this is done, it's going to contain whatever you put inside your to-do dots. So you're going to go to your to-do.js, which is your page, and you can just show display H1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can you leave it there for a second? On
Yeah,
the,
sure.
on the, that's the, right now we're on the to-do
To-do
JS.
Yes, the page.
Yeah.
The page, yeah. Okay.
And that we are exporting into app.js, right?
Sorry, come again.
So we are exporting that page in our app.js.
Exactly. So when you do export default, it simply means that you want this page to be accessible. So you can always come to your app.js and do import, so you can import the page. If you take out this line, you're going to have some errors. So you're going to see some errors saying that this page wasn't. Let me just comment out this line. So you're going to see the error in the terminal. So you're going to see this error. You see the terminal is red. To do not found because it was never exported. So you always have to export it so that it can be used.
Can I see your app.js?
Yes, sure. So this is what my app.js looks like. So I'm just importing the to-do from the page folder to do the to-do.js, and then I'm displaying it here.
So
There for a second.
yeah, where is that? Yeah, let me just copy. So you deleted everything which was there and just you added that return statement.
Yes. Right. So do you want me to go back to the to-do.js, Gloria?
No, I'm right there on the app.js. I'm not sure if other people are there as well. I need to type a few things what you put in there in the app.js.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
where I'm
next
at
to
at the
there.
FGS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So do let me know if you want me to move to the to-do.js.
I've got a question. I guess maybe I missed it. So you have to do within the chevrons?
Sorry, come again.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I didn't get your question.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm noticing you have the to do. You've got it the div, the divs, and in there you've got the to do and chevron.
Yes.
I'm not clear what that does. What is that?
All right. So this
helps us to display the to-do that we imported. So we import to-do from the pages. So in order for us to display it, this is the syntax. So you put it like this. So to-do with the greater than sign, the name, and then slash and this. So this is how you render the components.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
I have a little error here, and it says that my return is outside of the function.
Do you want to share a screen so I can
Yeah,
see?
sounds good.
All right. Okay.
Do we need to restart anything to see changes? No, right?
So I can see your screen, and you have, and then you have this. This
Do I,
should,
do I have the right screen up? Can you see my code?
yes, I can see your. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Let me see your to-do. Let me see your
Um,
to-do file.
This one, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. So right now, your return statement is outside of your function.
Oh,
So you
it
need
needs
to
to be in
grab,
there.
yes. So everything in your return, copy it and move it into the code block, which is the curly braces.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So that should work.
Yes, it does. Great. Okay, thank you.
Beautiful. Okay. So any other?
Yeah, I have made these changes, but I don't see when I refresh my browser, I don't see to-do page.
Okay. Do you want to share a screen so we can see what's happening on your end?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my to-do app. To do changes in to-do.js.
Yeah. So I can see that you have files that are not saved. So I need you to do Command S to save your file.
Oh,
Yeah. So inside your
God.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
using different
even your-
browsers, different IDs, and I am missing that up.
So even your index does. How do you know a particular file is not? If you look at the top of the file, you're going to see a white dot. So inside index.html, you see a white dot at the end.
Yeah.
That means that file is not saved. So click on it and do Command S.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure, beautiful. All right. Any other person having any other issues? All right, then give me a thumb, and then we're gonna proceed. Beautiful. All right, so I'm just gonna go back to share my screen while we proceed to do other things. Okay. So let me know if you can see the Figma file. So next thing we're going to be doing is extracting the icons. So say we have this icon. This is a plus icon. I'm going to show you how to extract icons or images. In fact, it's the same method. If you can extract an icon, you can also extract any image of your choice. So first of all you need to do is to click on you can zoom, just like I have this zoom. So you have to click on the icon. So by the time you click on the icon, right, at your left hand side, can you see where my mouse is in the Figma file? I'm moving my mouse up and down. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Now you're going to see a part that is highlighted, which is here. So this means that this sort of like, it sort of like highlight the place that you selected. Now, if you look well in that Figma site, you're going to see that you know this is a plus, right? It has the vertical line and the horizontal line. So you're going to see sort of like a vertical line and horizontal line there. Now we don't want to grab one line, because if you only grab the horizontal line, it doesn't make up a plus. If you only grab one line, it's sort of like a minus sign. So you don't want to do that. So we want to be able to grab these two. So if you look at it, if you click on the above, you're going to see something like a drop down. So you notice that when you click the above file, it covers the both components. So this is the one you want to grab, because once you grab this, you have your complete plus sign. In fact, you're even going to see the name. So most times the files, it's sort of like named according to it. So you see add plus. I don't know if you can see this on your end. Look where my mouse is. It's quite small, but I think if you squint, you'll see it. Add plus. So once you click on it, once you click on it and you see that it's highlighted, just move your mouse to the right hand side. So please let me know, can you see this right hand side? Can you see here that my mouse is at?
Where are you? You're in the Figma file?
So I need you to look at the screen sharing, because you're not going to see me move my mouse in the Figma file in the places that I'm showing you right now. So if you come back to the screen sharing, firstly, you select the particular icon. How do you extract? This is how you extract not just icons, but images. You select it. So this is what I want to extract. So I select the image first of all. Now I don't want to select I don't want to pick the image and not pick everything. So I need to be sure that I've picked everything. Now, if you notice, the only part that I'm selecting is the vertical line. You know, a plus sign has vertical and horizontal. So the only part I've selected now is the vertical. If I click down, you'll notice that I have now selected the horizontal. Now, in order to select the both of them, I need to select this drop down. So if you look at this part where my mouse is, if you're looking at the screen I'm sharing, you're going to see the part that my hands are dancing on. Now, this particular one, the add plus, edit/add plus. Once I select on it, you notice that it covers everything. It covers all the icons. So once you select that part, once you highlight this part, move your mouse to the right-hand side. If you can see me moving up and down in the right-hand side, if you can see me do that, if you move your hand to this area, just scroll down, you're going to see exports. You're going to see this heading text exports. Now you can export, you can see this drop down, you can export as SVG, PNG, or even PDF. So any formats that you want to export on, you can export. So say we want to export PNG, we click on PNG, and then we click export, this export button here, export add plus. So once you click on export add plus, it's going to go ahead to download it for you. So it's going to download it. You can, and then once you go to the downloaded version, you're going to see it.
I'm sorry, I don't see the same property tabs that you have.
All right, so you can go ahead, share screen. Let's look at your end.
Shalom, does it put it in the downloads file, or where does it put it? I'm on
You put it in the downloads file. So once you download it, sometimes it downloads like a particular folder. So you're just going to see a new folder added. You can open it up, or sometimes you see the file itself.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now beautiful. So now when you click on, yes, so I can see that you've highlighted it, right? Now go to the right-hand side. It's always at the right-hand side.
Click and drag it?
No, don't drag it, just move. You've already selected it. Now, you may ask, how do you know I have selected it? If you look at the left-hand side, you see a blue part, like a blue part highlighted, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So this means that you've selected the entire, if you look at the name, you can see edit/add plus.
Sure.
So this means that you've highlighted it. Now just move your mouse to the right-hand side. Now you need to look for exports. Exports. Now remember,
Oh,
you may
okay,
have,
so at the
you may have
top.
different positioning. Yes, it may have different positioning. Just look for exports. Once you see exports, click on export. Once you click on it, you have this access to switch. You have PNG there, so you can say, oh, I don't want to download PNG. I want to download XVG. You can download anything you want to download. And
Okay.
then once you select the type, just click export. You see something that downloaded in your laptop. So you
Okay.
just go ahead to open up that file.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you look at the top, yeah, download it. So you can just go ahead, open it up, and you grab it and put it in your code base.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Sure. Any other person?
Shalom, I'm still having trouble finding it. Does it name it? Like,
Do you want to
on the-
share screen?
Yeah,
Okay, go on.
okay. So I'm looking in my downloads folder. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. Okay.
All right.
So,
But,
oh,
but,
okay.
but did you download it?
Yes, I did. Okay,
Okay.
so, all right, so you're seeing my screen here. Let me pull up my downloads folder. So you're saying it should be,
Yes, I can. So
you
I
see,
can see your download.
would it, oh, it must be this. You think?
So I can't see your downloads anymore.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah. I think you closed it or something.
Oh, okay. Huh. It's still showing on my screen. I wonder if I should start sharing again. Here, let's see.
Yeah.
Here, let's see.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Is it this one, you think?
Yes, you have to unzip it. Then click on it.
Ah, okay.
Then that's the add plus. So you can just copy it into your own projects.
It says it couldn't be open because you don't have permissions to view it.
No, just click okay.
And then just
Just
drag it.
yeah, so just copy it.
Okay. I'm not sure why all these things popped up, but oh, do you
Where
want
are
to?
we pasting it?
Up.
Where we are copying it to? Where are we
So,
copying it?
yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen and show you.
Okay. I can drag it over. So you want me to put it in images?
Yes, so you can put it in images or icons folder. So let me share my screen. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right, so let me share my screen and I'm going to show you. So can you see my files? Can you see my files?
Yes.
All right. So just like you have yours, you have this edit, then you have this, you copy this. Now, once you copy this, you do Command C to copy. Now you go to the folder where you have your, so if I go to the folder where I have my files, I go to GDI React 1, I go to class 5. So this is basically, I'm going to the folder where I have my code base, right? I go to my source. Remember the source? You remember assets folder? I go to my assets folder. This is an icon, not an image. So I store it inside the icons and I do Command V and I paste it into icons. So now, if you can see my Visual Studio Code, if I go to assets and I go to icons, you're going to see my add plus icon here. Should I do it all over again?
No, I think I got it.
I got it too.
All right. Any other person?
Any questions? Is that clear? Do you now have your Add Plus icon here? If you do, then I would love you to do the next one on your own. So go ahead to grab the this particular icon. So go ahead to grab it and put in your code base. So do that on your own, and then I'll do it on my end. So I want to be able to do it on your end. So I'm sure that you can do this with or without me, because I want you to be able to do things without me. So I'm just going to give you some time to go ahead to grab this one and put it in your code base.
Shalom. For some reason, can I grab it from the mobile as well? Because for some reason, when I look at my screen, it covers, the little left side covers.
So you can I think they are the same icons. So both on mobile and desktop are actually the same. So anyone you grab is fine.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Shalom. I was doing the other one. You said to the next one to grab is the check mark.
Yes, the check mark.
And that seems like it has interface check, and then right below it, it has vector. And so the one that we should grab is it vector, or is the interface check?
So you can grab the where you have interface /check, because that gives you everything, including the check.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we want that, or do we want a specific one?
So I think that works. Because if you grab only the check, that means you have to create this this border. And I don't know, do you want to take your time creating that, or you can just grab it?
The whole thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I forgot to ask, do we want PNGs or is that what we want, the PNG?
Yeah, I think PNG works. So I'm gonna tell you, most people choose SVGs. So, but I think PNG works.
So I have a question. So when it comes up at SVG, it doesn't show me what I'm looking at. It uses a different, it uses the browser image instead
Okay,
of.
so XVG, yeah. So XVG comes in sort of like a code format. So say you export a particular file with XVG, right? It does export, but you can only view it by the time you open it up. Like you copy it. Say you copy it, right? And you go to your icons and you paste that as SVG. So say you paste that as, okay, sorry, let me get the XVG file. You can still see my screen. So yeah, so this is SVG. So say I copy this and I go to the project. So say I go to my assets folder, and then I go to icons and I paste this. You may not really see it here, but when you go to the file, when you click on XVG, you're going to see a code. So XVG format is different from PNG format. So XVG format sort of comes in XVG code. So yeah, so it still works. It still works fine. It just depends on what you need. But I would say if you're using PNG, stick to PNG. If you're using XVG, stick to XVG.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's funny. I think I had selected PNG, but it still downloaded the SVG.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's definitely an error from Figma. Then I think you can go ahead and just reselect PNG and download and see if it's going to do that.
Oh.
And then also you can preview. So I don't know if you saw this. You have this preview text below the exports. I don't know if you have yours on your end. You can decide to preview what you selected just to be sure. You know, most times you may select something and you don't think if you selected everything correctly. So you can go ahead to, like, you know, preview it to be sure that you selected everything. So once you click the preview text, it just brings out the image. Yeah. Please let me know when you're done extracting the check. Yeah, I can see it on for yeah. So let me know when you're done, and then we proceed to creating our first component for this to-do application. I think we're going to start with the header components. Or we're going to start with sort of like building out layouts. Yes, let's start with the layouts. Sort of like the background color, the page color, things like that. I think we can start with that. All right, so I'm still waiting. Do we all have our check?
Oh,
All right, so I can see, so just give me a thumb emoji, and so we can move on. I think we still have like few things to do for this class. I want us to try as much as possible to at least achieve sort of like the layout of the components. Then you can go ahead to, you know, style the components. And by the time we get back in our next class, we can work on the functionalities. Okay, all right, so I think I got quite some years. So I'm just going to proceed. All right, so yeah, let's create our first components, our first to-do components, and that is going to be the header component. So I'm going to go to the Visual Studio Code. I'm going to go to components, and I'm going to go to the header.js. And yeah, so just like we've created other components, const header equal to, we're going to do arrow function here. And we're going to return. Our header component is quite simple. So our header component basically returns a header, so H1, and the header holds the do app. Now, another thing you need to learn is copying content in Figma. So all you need to do is to highlight the content, like just click on it. Once you click on it, move to the right-hand side. If you move to the right-hand side, you should see something called content. Let me know if you can see that. Once you click on the content, you're going to see content. Can you see content on your end? Let me know if you can see content. I have.
We're Looking.
Okay, so you're supposed to click on the content. Can you copy it first of all?
Let's see. I'm selecting it and I see my mouse. Oh, okay. Do I need to put it in blue?
So right now, try to once you select it, move to the right hand side. That's
Okay.
the right hand side. Are you seeing the contents?
Oh,
Are you
yes.
seeing-
Oh, copy. Okay, yes, I see it.
Exactly. So just copy it. So once it's selected, move to the right hand side. You see copy, then you just copy it. Right. So now I'm just gonna go back to my Visual Studio Code and I'll paste this inside it. So to do up, and this is basically our header components. Quite simple components. The component is just holding our header, which is to do app. So like I said, you're going to go ahead to style this on your own, right? Give it CSS and all, but I'm just going to walk through the layout with you. So now we have the header components. We want to export it so that we can import it in our what to do.js. So I'm going to export default header. All right, so I'm just going to pause here so everyone can catch up with me. So let me know if you have any questions though. If you're not able to get the, if you don't yet know how to get the content from Figma, please let me know, because you're going to be using Figma too. In fact, forget about all the other tools that I mentioned. A lot of companies, right, the UI UX developers use Figma. Figma is very popular. So you're going to be using Figma for other projects that you'll be working on. So let me know if you're having issues copying the text, or if you have any issues rendering or creating your header components. And then don't forget to give me a thumb so I know when you're done and we can proceed.
So when you copy, what exactly you copied?
Okay, so when you copy this text. So once you copy the text, you come here and you paste the text because you want that same text to be on your website.
Okay, yeah, that I got that to do app copied. Okay.
All right, so then you go ahead to paste it in your header components, because your header component is only displaying the header, and that is the header to do app. All right, have we all created our header components? Okay, I don't see only one, Tom. All right, another yes. Okay, another one. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead to import our header component. Remember, we're going to be importing it inside here. So instead of having this dummy data, I'm going to take out this dummy data. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to import header. So now Visual Studio Code is going to help me complete. So it goes to components. I'm going to go to grab header. So yeah, I'm going to bring in header. And then once I save this and I go to the browser, I'm going to have my to-do app header. So yeah. So let me know if you have imported your header inside the to-do.js file. Right, so do you have any errors? Is everything working fine? Okay, so I can see it's on. Another thing we can try to do today is to get this background color. So let's go ahead to grab the background color and have this div positioning. I think that's like a mini CSS that I can assist you with, sort of like start the base for React and CSS together with you guys. So remember, we have this todo.css. So first things first, the general app background is going to be blue. So right now our general background is white. So we can go ahead to select this. So if you go to Figma and you select this board, once you select this board, you're going to see, if you move your cursor to the right-hand side, you're going to see the color, the fill color, the blue. So it's going to be a hex code. So just copy that hex code, and then we're going to go back to our app.css. So let's go to our app.css. This is the general CSS that we have. So we can do body. So we can do body, and then we can say, okay, for the body, we want our background. So we want our background color to be this hex code. So once you say body, our body, just a minute, the body tag. Yeah, so our body tag takes in blue color. So how did I get this blue? Go to Figma, select this entire div. So once you select this entire div, you're going to see in the right-hand side a heading called fill. This fill contains the color, the hex color. So just copy the hex color. Then how do we know? Remember, the app.js is our roots file. So I went to the app.css and I said the entire body, the background color should be that color.
Can I share my screen, Shalom? I'm still having trouble getting to part of the Figma, and I'm not sure how to solve it.
Okay, so you're having issues to selecting the background? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, here, let me show you what's happening.
Okay, share screen.
See, it covers part of it. Even if I increase it, I don't know how to move this to get to the corners of it.
All right, so this, just close this tab. This is just the image. So where is your cursor?
Where's my what?
So just close, click on close, like
Sorry, this is Safari, and I never used Safari, but I couldn't open it in Chrome, the Figma.
I don't think you're sharing your Safari. I can't see your Safari browser.
You can't?
No, I can't. I don't think you're sharing it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing and then try again. Okay,
Yeah.
so here. Do you see
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay. See how it covers it? I don't know how to get rid of.
Okay, so if you come, move your hold. Are you holding?
Move my what?
Your mouse, right? Hold. Do you know how to hold? Holding your mouse, like just press the mouse and then drag it. Like hold again. You're not holding, hold. Are you holding?
Yeah, should I be doing the left? I have a left and a right.
Just at the so you can do the okay, so okay. So okay. What you can do is, instead of holding, just move right. So now you're not holding, you're just moving.
Okay, moving it. Oh, I'm not moving it. Well, I move it, but it doesn't drag anything with it. Okay. I have the wheel. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, thanks. All right.
So you have to use your two fingers, right?
No, I have a little mouse wheel, and in the middle, and then if I press that, then it works.
Okay, okay. You're not using your laptop mouse. You're using external mouse. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here I am on the to-do list, but I can't grab the where. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's here in the corner.
Yes. So just click on that desktop text. So once you click on it,
oh, I
then
see
at the
colors on the
right-hand
right.
side, you see dots.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Here, I'll stop
All
sharing.
right.
Someone has questions.
Okay.
Can you show your screen again for the code?
Yeah, just a minute. Let me go ahead to share. Share screen. Yes. Code. All right. So what I did was I went to the app.css and then I just put body and I gave it background color of this. Remember, your app.css is like the roots CSS file. Just like your app.js is your root file, the app.css is like the general CSS file.
Oh, Shalom, it looks like when I built my React app, I must have screwed it up somehow because it's not rendering. It's telling me it can't find a file. NPM can't find a file. And it
All right.
looks
Do you want to share screen?
sure.
Okay.
Sharing. What? This will stop other screens. Do you want? Yes. Okay. I think this is where I am. Yes. Share. Okay.
Okay.
So
So in your file, can you scroll?
Chrome.
Scroll.
No, I use whatever. Is it Chrome?
Oh, no. Like in this Visual Studio Code, the files area where you have pages, components, scroll up to the top. Okay, so now you are in to do, oh yeah, you're right in the part. So now when you do, scroll down. Oh my God, scroll down. Your package.json is there. Click on the package.json. Let me see. Everything looks good. So do npm stats.
Do what? NPM what?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Do
here
ls. Do ls.
it's to go to another folder, right?
Okay.
So do ls. So just click ls
Oh,
enter.
LS. Okay.
Yes. Then enter. Let me see.
There is a to-do app. You have to go inside that, right?
Yes.
CD
Yeah. So
to-do app.
cd. Yeah. So just do cd. No. One c cd space. No. cd
Oops.
space to do. So remove do. Just put to.
Just what? Do?
Just take out, remove.
See
Remove.
above there in the LS, you have it spelled with a hyphen or underscore.
Yeah, so yes, like that, or you can just use the tab to auto-complete for you. Then click enter. Now do npm stats. So because you were not in the folder where you have your package.json, it could not
Oh,
get to the scripts and
Okay.
run.
okay.
So
All
now
right.
your script is running. It should open up a local host for you. Starting server here.
Okay.
Shalom, should it be showing blue or we haven't put the body tag in, right? Because mine isn't showing blue yet.
So let me see. Do you have what I have here? So in your app.css, do you have body tag? But you remember we have the HTML file. So that HTML file has body tags. So just put body and then pass like this. This is what you have.
Yes, body. Oh, here, I have an extra space there. I don't know if it makes a difference. Let me see.
We didn't use the body tag yet,
Yeah,
right?
Is it right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't use the body tag, but in our public folder, we have HTML. And if you look at the HTML, we have body tag here. So we have the body tag. So the question is, did you import your app.css? So if you go to app.js, do you have an import like this there?
Okay, let me do that. Can you leave it there for a second?
Yeah, sure. The styles will not show there. Just like you have your HTML file and you have your CSS file, you have to import your CSS file into your HTML. So you have to import your CSS into the components that you want to use it for. So right now we have app.css. You have to import app.css into app.js.
What is the path for that? What is the, so we had to import styles to do.css.
Yeah, so eventually you have your to-do.css. So you have to import your to-do.css into your to-do.js when we started styling the to-do itself. But right now we're styling the app background, and that's why we did this.
Can you go back to your code, please?
Yes.
So you imported app.css into
app.js.
into app. I already have that line, right?
Oh, I already had it too, but it's not showing up blue. You said in
You want
the
to share a screen? You want to share a screen?
sure. Should I do it or do someone else was talking too?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay,
want-
so is yours working?
No, it's the same problem like her.
All right. So we'll take it one after the other. Gloria share screen. We'll resolve yours, and then we'll go to
Gandali.
Gandali. Okay, Gandali. Okay, yeah. So we'll go to Gandali afterwards.
Okay. So let's see which one is sharing. For some
All
reason.
right. Yeah, I can see your React app. So
Oh, okay.
go to your code. Yes. So you're dragging your code in.
Yes.
You have. So now this is imports. You import /app.css. Now where is the app.css?
Oh, should it be in styles?
No, it's fine. It's fine. So click on app.css.
Oh, this is a different one. Oh,
Yeah. So where did you keep it? Did you put it inside to-do.css? Click on to-do.css.
oh, I think
Let's-
I put it into a different CSS then.
So which
In the styles, right? In the styles
yeah,
to
we put it in-
do.css.
Oh, we put it in index CSS instead of the app CSS.
So let me see the index. Click on it.
Oh, wait. This is the old one. Sorry, I never ended up doing the other one, but I must have put it in a different CSS one.
Try
So
to
I put it in the
CSS.
to do. I put it in the
Uh-huh.
to CSS. So
The-
we needed to put this in the app or in the
Yes.
index CSS.
The app. The app is your root. So put it in the app.css. So cut it and put in app not index, app.css. Right
Okay.
above app.css.
Oh, yeah.
So you can take out, clean everything here. This is like default from React. So just Command A to copy everything and then delete.
Oh, here's
Command
more.
A. Command A. Just do Command A. It's going to highlight everything.
Oh, okay. Here, let me paste the one that oh, okay.
So no, don't worry, just do Command A. Yeah, and then do delete. So go to your to-do CSS, copy it. Go to your to-do CSS. Do Ctrl Z here. Yeah. So just cut it. And then paste here. Beautiful.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All
So
right.
now it should show up here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
All
thanks.
right. Gandali.
I think that was same problem I
Alright.
had.
So is it working now?
But yeah, let 1 second. Let me see.
Okay.
Should work. Yeah, it's working now.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome, guys.
Shalom, quick question. So
Yeah.
when we're doing these CSS, I guess since we want it on the main page, we're only doing one main page, kind of. It seems like this is going to be our main page. We do an app CSS and that's where we put all our styles. And then do we import all the app CSS? Or when you're doing a bigger site, does each page have its own CSS or
Okay.
mainly you just pull it in from one page that has all the styles?
All right. So basically the reason why we're doing this in app.css is because anytime we need
Oh, you're breaking up.
we need app.css. So this background is always going to be blue, and we need that to be in the general root. So that's why we're putting it in app.css. Now, as we continue, like for example, if you look at the Figma, we have a white background inside. So this is our page. So now the next CSS we're going to be doing has to do with the to-do itself, not the general. So when you have a general style that has to do with like the roots, right? Then you can put it in app.css. But when we have like a particular style that has to do with a particular page, then you put it in the page CSS. That's why we have to-do.css here.
Oh, now I understand. Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like a component. It's like the CSS for the component, right?
Exactly. So for that page, this is the CSS. So we're going to go ahead to even inside our to-do.css and to-do.js, we're going to import to-do.css. So dot/, then we go to styles, then we do to-do.css. So now we've imported this. So eventually we'll need this div to have, so we can change this to a div. Instead of having this, we can change this to a div. And then we can give the class name. We can give this class name. We can give it an ID since it's unique. So we can give it an ID of to-do container. So if we give it an ID of to-do container, we can come to our to-do.css, right? And then we do something like this. So we can have background color white.
So right now, if I save this and we go to the browser, you're going to see that we have this part, background color white. So we still have a lot of styling to do, of course, but just to show you, right? So first things first, you import the style that has to do with the page. So you import the CSS style into this page. We added a ID here to the div tag. So converted to the div tag, added an ID, and then we went to the CSS. I'm just going to close this other part. So we went to todo.css and we added a background color. You can go ahead to add width and height. So right now, we can, if you look at the Figma, it has height and it has width. It's not like this. So we can go ahead. So we can go ahead to add width and height. So we can have width of 50%, and then we can have height, of course, of maybe 50 VH. So if I save this and I go back to the browser, you see that it's sort of like picking the form. But another thing you need to learn about Figma is that Figma sort of like gives you the CSS. So if you click on this white spot, this white div, can you all hear me? If you click on the white div, let's see if we can just click on it. Let's see.
Can you please show me your todo.js under pages?
Sure. So this is my todo.js. I gave it width and I gave it height. So todo.js is this.
So where did you apply that CSS?
So this is where I import the CSS file. So I import the CSS file and I gave it an ID, right? And I say anytime you call to-do container, you can give it styling. So inside todo.js, I called to-do container and I gave it the CSS.
Okay.
I saw, can you go back to the todo.css? Are you done with, okay.
Oh yeah, yes.
Oh, I think I need the to-do CSS.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is the CSS.
Yeah. Okay, and so now when I go to the React app, here, let's see. Oh, I think I have some errors. Let's see.
Okay, so where do you think your error is from? Can you read out the error message?
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so expected, it's my div tag that's wrong. So let's see, to do JS. Okay. So I have my div and I have a
On your
close.
screen.
Yeah. Here, let's see.
Okay. All right, so Gandeya, do you have any issues on your end?
For me,
Yeah.
I just need to type the properly. todo.js.
Okay. All right. So Gloria, in your todo.js, look at line 7. You need to add the div there, the div closing tag. So click, yes, do div, the IV.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So but it's after this /. So put the div after the /. Yeah, so clean the other one. Yes.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay. So do you have your white background?
Oh gosh, it says it cannot resolve the to-do CSS. Here.
Let me see to do the CSS. Yeah, so don't worry. Let's go and look for it. Your file paths. So go to your to do the CSS, not there, to do the JS, sorry.
Okay.
To do the JS.
Oh, it's having problems finding it. Right?
CSS. No, go at the stats. There's a space at the stats. Imports, you have your quotes. Why is the space there?
Oh, okay.
Save.
That did it. Interesting. It put it like this.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I think yes. So right now that's what we also have on our end.
Oh,
So you
okay.
just need to add more styling and all.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
but I think that's pretty much it. Valerie, how's it on your end?
I think
Well,
I got a double, wait a minute, I'll check one thing and think it'll, yeah. So I'm getting a double header to do app. So I've got.
Do you want to share screen?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Okay, Madison, what about you?
I'm good.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
To do app, I think. I forgot what screen it's on. There we go. I think I got it. Too many screens. Oops. Oh,
Okay. All right. So I can see. Can you go to your app.js just to be sure?
go to app.js. Okay.
Yes. Go
Let me,
to app.
Can I change screens? Because you're not going to see it on this little screen.
Sure.
How do I do that? New share. Okay. Screen 2. And share. And I can move the other one over. Can you see?
Yes. So go to your. So now I can see you have 2 things inside app. So you don't need 2 things. Just take out header.
Oh, keep header.
Take out header line. Take out line 10.
Okay.
The only thing you need to render in your app.js is your page, which is to do. Now inside the table, let me see. So the JS.
Oh, you want to go to the app?
Yeah, just go to your to.js.
Okay.
Let me just to be sure everything is fine.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. So you only render your components inside the page that has to do with components. Beautiful. Okay. So now I think that should fix the issue, right?
Yep, it did.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Any other question? I think we can call to the class a wrap. We were able to, look at the code structure, get everything arranged. We're able to work with Figma file. We're able to extract things like icons. We're able to extract text, and we're also able to extract color, which is a good one. I'm just gonna give you and everyone a take-home assignment. So your job is to build out the remaining components. So we've been able to build out the header components. So go ahead to build out the remaining components. I think we have 3 more components left that are yet to be done. Let me just quickly share my screen. We have 3 more components that's left to be done. We have the button components, we have the header components, and we've done header. So we have the add to do components, we have the button components, and this components. So this is just a take home. They will meet on Monday again, right? It is just explore. You have the Figma file. So I'm just gonna share. Let me share the Figma just to point to some pointers on the components. So we have this particular component. So you have to work on this component. This component is an input, and then you already have this plus button. that we extracted. So work on this add to do components. And then we also have the button. Of course, you have this button icon already. So let's work on this as a component. And then we have the to-do lists. So all the components that you're creating, right? As you create the components, just go ahead to import them in your to-do.js, just like we did with the header, and then render it here so that you can see it displaying on your browser as you proceed. Another thing you can do is to center this div. So right now, if you notice the div is not in the center, you can also achieve this, remember, through the app.js, because the app.js is sort of like the root. So we have the body. So we can just say, we can put in the body, oh, okay, have display flex. So we can do display flex. So we can do display flex, and we can say something like justify content center. I think this should actually work to justify all these contents to the middle. Yeah, so this justifies the content to the middle. So now we can go ahead to add let me see, 100%. Take this back to 100%. Just a minute, this is not supposed to be happening. Let me see. So this have okay, yeah, so because we're styling the so definitely not the body. So this is wrong. So we may not want to put this here. We may want to put it instead of putting it in the body. What we may want to do is inside the app.js, we have this class name called container, right? So let's get that dot container. So once we do this container, we now this, and once we put this here, everything should, be back to normal. So if we go back to the to do the CSS back to 50%, it should be in the middle. Yes, beautiful. So yeah, so go ahead to play along with CSS, right? Use your CSS skills here in React, right? You know the width, the height, the color, how to center a div using display flex, using Flexbox. So go ahead to play with your CSS. Try to make the application look like what we have here on Figma, and we'll meet again in our next class, which is on Monday. So I'm really looking forward to you building amazing things. Yes. So feel free to send me a message on Slack if you have any issues.
Can you show the app
So you want
CSS real quick?
Yeah, sure. So I just give the styling to the container. Yeah. So please do not forget to fill the class survey. You have access to the class survey on Slack. So if you go to Slack, right at the top where you have the bookmark, so please give me feedback, see how we can make the class better and more better for you, right? More suitable. Yes.
Thanks, Shalom.
So I'm also going to push everything I've done today to GitHub. So just in case you need access to the file, some of us are going to be listening to the recording. So everything is on GitHub. So I'm just going to push to GitHub right now. So yes, I can see chat. Yeah, thank you. So I'm just going to push to GitHub right now. Git add. Pass 5. Okay, it's pushed. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.